Hi writers and readers, I'm Christy Stratus, and today I just wanted to make a little bit of an updates video because I have some great news. If you have been on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, a lot of places, then you may have already seen I did completely finish Lock and Key. It's done with editing, it's done with proofreading, it's done with nitpicking, it's done with absolutely every stage you could have to go through in terms of writing and editing. So now we are into formatting, and the paperback formatting is already done. All I'm doing now is waiting for it to be approved, and then I will be able to order the proof, and I'm so excited to be able to finally hold this book in my hands. It has been such a long journey, and one that really proved that I can write through anything, no matter how difficult the rewrites are, no matter how much rewriting and refiguring about a book needs to be done. Now I know that I am definitely capable of doing that, which is extremely encouraging. So for you, I definitely encourage you, if you're really not sure about your capabilities in terms of writing and rewriting. I know rewriting can be one of the most intimidating things, or editing. Just push yourself, push your boundaries, just work at it and try different things, because that's what I had to do. I was sort of convinced that rewriting was kind of just really difficult, and it was a scary process sometimes, pushing things around and adding in extra scenes that I originally didn't think were going to be there, but it turned out for the best, and I figured out my process a lot better. So you're going to have some wins, some fails, and you're going to learn a lot about yourself in the process. So I heavily encourage you to mess around with your own process and definitely try your boundaries. The next step will be ebook formatting, and once Amazon approves my book, I will be able to put it up for pre-order. So I am so excited about that. I did not get to do that with Anatomy of a Darkened Heart, and I really wanted to, but I'm going to do it this time. I have definitely spent so much time on this book that I feel I really want to do things the way that I had originally planned, which was to have a nice, decently long pre-order period where I could really enjoy having it out there and make some, banners on like Facebook and share some cool quotes and things like that. I really want to do that this time. In other news, you may or may not, if you get the notifications from my channel, you may or may not see that I did a little test yesterday to see how a game would work, if I could stream it or not, if it was smooth enough or not, and how it sounded and how it looked. Now it's unlisted. I was going to delete it, but I left it as unlisted so some of my friends could watch it and give me some feedback. They were kind enough to tell me that it looks pretty good, and so it's really funny because there's a slight echo on my voice at the end of sentences sometimes, but my voice is clear and it's easy to understand. The visuals seem to be coming through okay, and I think that it's going to work out pretty well. The reason that I'm doing that is because I have mentioned in the past that I really want to do hidden object games with you guys. Not a ton of them, but there's this one in particular where we are playing as a writer, and I think it would be a lot of fun. And hidden object games are really, I think, undervalued. I think that they are just, not enough people play them, and I don't think enough people even know about them. And I just wanted to introduce you guys to them because they have a lot of atmosphere to them, which to me is very inspiring. They're fun, they're relaxing, but they still have puzzles and stuff in them, so you're still working your brain and all that. But I thought that this one would be fun in particular, and you might remember that I used to do American McGee's Alice, but I had to stop doing that because I had this technical issue where, if you happen to watch those videos, you would have seen that I had a lot of trouble jumping. Anytime Alice had to jump and she would need to float across like a bigger area where there's like a big wind stream coming up and her skirt puffs out like an umbrella and carries her across that area, I had so much trouble with that, and I think I had said at the time that I didn't remember it being so hard. And sometimes I would do like the cards where I was aiming at something and throwing the cards, or even the knife, and it was just not hitting even though it was actually hitting. And it was very, very frustrating. Finally, I got to this part where I could not get across this big giant gap that took two of those wind streams to get me apart, and no matter how dozens of times I tried, could not get it to work. It had nothing to do with when I was jumping or anything. It was that when she was floating, all of a sudden the game would sort of glitch and she would just stop floating and fall. So I didn't know what to do about that, and I stopped the recording, tried it without the recording, and it worked perfectly fine. So that was the whole thing. The recording was slowing it down and making it glitch to the point that I couldn't really actually play the game the way it's supposed to be played. So that's why I stopped, because I could no longer actually make any progress with that flaw in there. And these games should really not have as much trouble with that. You know, I mean, they have movement and stuff, but the game is not about like heavy graphics. It's not about all kinds of movement and stuff. It's really about the atmosphere and having fun that way. So I think that you will hopefully enjoy it. And we're of course going to talk about writerly things, especially since we're going to play as a writer. That is also a great way when I am a little bit too busy and overstressed to be able to do some editing on a video. I will still be able to put out a video. I'm really looking forward to trying that out and seeing what you guys think. And I think that's about it for now. I had planned in the Dark Victoriana collection for Love's Bloom to come next. There is another book that is really, really pushing at my brain. It is still in the Dark Victoriana collection. It's one I have not announced, but it's one that once I finished Lock and Key, I knew I was going to write. And so I'm not going to tell you what it is until Lock and Key has been out for a little bit, because it is based on something from Lock and Key, a particular character. So I'm not going to tell you what it is quite yet, but I'm not sure if that book is going to have to come next because it is really wanting to write itself. I actually have more ideas about that than I do about Love's Bloom that was originally going to come next. So we'll see how it goes. Either way, you will have another book, many more books in the Dark Victoriana collection. I keep coming up with more and more ideas of things that I really, really want to do that I think will be very interesting. And I do also have that other book, Greed, that is not part of the Dark Victoriana collection. That is half written. So, you know, we'll see what I work on for NaNoWriMo. Camp NaNoWriMo is going on right now, and if you're participating in that, I hope that it is going really well and you're really enjoying it. Some of my friends are in that and they're having a good time with it. So I hope you are as well if you're participating. And as always, thank you so much for spending time with me, and I will see you soon.